Hey, and welcome back to the Simply Fitness Podcast. I'm John Stein, and on this episode of the podcast, I talk about one of my favorite nutrition topics, flexible dieting. I talk about what exactly flexible dieting is and how it can change your whole perspective on dieting forever. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Yo, and welcome back to the Simply Fitness Podcast. Happy to have you guys back. Hope you all are having an amazing day. I know I am, and I cannot wait to have a little chat with you about this next topic. One of my favorite topics to talk about when it comes to nutrition. And today we're going to go into flexible dieting, term you've probably heard before, seen on the internet, but maybe not too sure what exactly it is and what it exactly entails. So I'm going to talk about my experience with flexible dieting, my thoughts on it, and how it can maybe be what you've been looking for. So let's dive into what exactly flexible dieting is, because it sounds weird and it sounds like, what is it? Am I stretching and eating at the same time? No, that's not what you're doing. But simply put, it's how I like to think most simply here is that it's fitting the food you like into your diet. That's what flexible dieting is. It's being flexible. Any food can be in your diet as long as it fits your criteria for what your diet is. Are you in a fat loss diet, muscle gain, maintenance? Okay. What foods can you fit in there? And what foods do you enjoy? That's as simple as it's put. To me, that sounds pretty freaking awesome. I don't know about you, but I want to eat the foods I like. And if it helps me get to my goal, even better. Amazing. So, what I base flexible dieting on is the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your food coming from whole sources, 20% coming from more processed sources, or pretty much any other source that you want from that 20%. So 80% of those whole foods, that's going to be foods like fruits, veggies, meats, whole grains, things like that. 20%, obviously, from the foods you want, like maybe that, you might not initially think as quote unquote healthy, but things like pizza, which I'm going to have tonight, and I'm going to love every minute of it. Ice cream, cake, cookies, whatever it may be. You can have those in your diet. You can. With flexible dieting, you can. As long as it fits within your criteria of your goals. So what is your goal? Fat loss, muscle gain. That's what's going to determine how your flexible dieting looks like. So why flexible dieting? Why? To me, the reason most people fail their diets is that it's way too rigid. So having that built-in flexibility helps you break free from this rigid diet culture, that you're super rigid with your diet, super tight, that you can't have so many things that you want to have, but you can't have them because it doesn't go with your goal. And it's like, but then what is life about? Like, why would you self-limit yourself to things you like to do in the name of your goal? And it's like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, you only have one life to live. Like, why would you be super rigid? And that's where our mind comes up. We're like, F this, why am I going to do that? And you go in the complete opposite direction and eat whatever the hell you want. And that's also not the answer. So this is that gray area, that boring area that 90% of us live. So we gotta live there. So that's why the flexibility works. And that's why I've found success with it. That's why so many people have found success with it. That's why so many people promote it and why it is so important here. So this flexibility gives you that mindset shift of that scarcity mindset of, oh man, I can't have this. So of course, when you say you can't have something, what does your mind think about? Everything you can't have. That say you can't have pizza, all you're gonna think about is pizza. Can't have pizza. Where it's like, well, now you're in a a mindset of abundance. I can have whatever I want. As long as it fits in my goals, I can have it. I'm feeling pizza today. Okay, let's work that into my diet. Let's figure out a way to get pizza in while also achieving my goal. Deal. Sign me up to that. Sounds amazing. So you start to think about, what can I have? You think I can have whatever I like in my diet instead of I can't have X, Y, and Z. So just like that little switch right there, that I can have whatever I like instead of I can't have this, is really powerful. It sounds so simple because it really is, but just that switch in your head just makes it so much, you're more likely to succeed because you believe that. So that's why flexible dieting is so powerful and why it is such a great tool for you to find success with your diet. And unlike other diets, like flexible dieting is can be changed for any goal and can be used throughout your entire life. And if you can go more plant-based, you can go lower carb, you can go whatever fits your lifestyle. You don't have to put a label on it, and you can adjust it to whatever you want it to be. There is no label here. You're just dieting with less rules. There are no rules other than diet towards what your goal is. That's what flexible dieting is, the nitty gritty right there. I just came up with that right now. Like, that is what it is. There are no rules other than eat the foods that make you feel good and that help you achieve your goal and that you enjoy. Done. Isn't that what you're all looking for? Isn't that what everyone wants when it comes to nutrition? Like, we want to make it more complicated, but that's what it is. That's what it boils down to. When we get away all that fluff, all that excess stuff, that is what it comes down to. So if you're not enjoying it, guess what? Switch it up, because you got to find something that you enjoy, because you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life. Your goal might change, but you're going to still need to eat every single day. It's just a plain hard fact. So let's talk a little bit about what flexible dieting is, because I know there are some people out there that just heard what I said and they're thinking, I can eat whatever I want. And that is not what I said. I said you can eat whatever you want as long as it goes towards your goal. So that does not mean you can eat like an a-hole. Does not mean that. You still got to watch what you eat. You still got to make sure you're getting your fruit, your veggies, that you're drinking enough water, that you're getting enough protein, that you're having moderation. Like, you still need those things. Those things are still very important when it comes to flexible dieting. But what that means is that you can also have those foods you enjoy that, other diets might say, you can't have that. That's not healthy. What's a healthy food? It makes me feel good. It makes me happy. That sounds like health to me to a certain degree. So what is some mac and cheese is that gonna make me keel over tomorrow? Or, and I have to eat that salad? It won't, so why not enjoy it? Why not find a way to fit, both into your diet and enjoy it and be a little bit happier and, get to your goal probably a little bit fast, maybe not a little bit faster, but also, maintain that goal long term. So there's that. So to me, flexible dieting has just freed personally me, but also my clients. It helps free them from this rigidity that just breaks us mentally and physically, because at the end of the day, like, we're all human and we all make mistakes, and we always will. There is no way for you to be perfect. There is no way. There is no way. Babe Ruth struck out. People, Michael Jordan missed shots. Wayne Gretzky missed shots. Like, even the best of the best make mistakes. You're going to mess up. You're going to hit bumps in the road. And that is okay. But if your diet is super rigid, it's going to make it seem like you failed, and it's going to make you feel like you failed. When it's like, well, you didn't fail because it fit. If all foods fit in your diet, then how'd you mess up? Okay, well, one day you went a little over your calories, which wasn't within your goal. Okay, so let's readjust, and tomorrow let's do a little bit better here. So with flexible dieting, all foods fit in as long as it goes towards your goal and you're working towards your goal and your diet aligns with where you're trying to go. Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to lose fat? Are you trying to maintain here? Then you form your diet around that goal. And then you go from there. And you fit the foods in that you actually enjoy, that fit to that goal. Whether that's, having, pizza that once a week on Fridays with your family, or, going to that, that steak dinner that you love, that restaurant, for your birthday, whatever, maybe you can still fit those things in, which is so great and so freeing and takes off so much stress from dieting. We have so much, I feel like a lot of people get stressed out when they are going on a new diet and a new, fitness plan. And yes, it's going to be stressful because you're making change, but let's find a way to limit that stress and take some of those stressful things out and make it a little bit easier to proceed forward, so then you stick with it long term. Take the path of least resistance. If you try to, climb up Mount Everest on your first try, you're gonna fail. But if you take your small steps up a smaller hill, then work up to a bigger hill, to a mountain, to then Mount Everest, okay, then you're gonna succeed that way. So let's break free from that and let's build some flexibility within our diet. Move to flexible dieting. Because it honestly, it leaves you more excited to, for your diet, for your life, for your nutrition, and it makes you excited about it. Okay, I can have that, I can do this. Even try new things. It leaves you more open to that, because you're like, oh man, I can have that. Hey, if I don't like it, guess what? It doesn't have to go in my diet anymore. There you go. I can kick that out. I don't like that. Because not everyone's gonna be a chicken, rice, and broccoli type of person. They need a little bit different. They need different foods. Everyone's got a different palate. Everyone's got different needs for their body and what helps them function better. So that's where flexible dieting has found success for me. So if you're looking for hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love flexible dieting. I love it. It's really helped me change my life. So if you want, a little bit more information about that and how to, kind of set up your goals and build a diet around your goals and learning how to flexible diet, shoot me an email, hit me up on Instagram. I'm more than happy to talk to you a little bit more about it, setting up a nutrition plan for you and a fitness program that, that helps you reach your goals. That's what we're all about here at Max U. That's what I'm here for. I want you to build a diet and fitness program that you can not just do, for the couple months that you work with me, but also, for your entire life, because that's what it's all about here. It's why I love flexible dieting. I never have to change a thing. I can maintain this for the rest of my life, make the adjustments every week based off of my social life, which right now is almost non-existent since quarantine. So it makes things a little bit easier, but, just helps you go with the flow of life, because life is ever changing here. So hit me up, DM me on Instagram, shoot me an email. Let's get started. Start building a diet that's actually going to help you achieve your goals, not just in the short term, but in the long term. So reach out, guys. Let's get after it. 2021 is in full effect here. We're going to get after our goals. Hope you all have an most amazing rest of your day. Catch you next time, guys.